Welcome to this edition of Empower 305. We have a long-awaited guest, Jennifer Ramirez from our General Services Administration Division. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
There's a lot that I learned about you in these last few days, reading that you have been here for about 20 years.
22.
So how did your career start here in the city of Miami?
Well, I used to work for Arthur Andersen and decided that the firm life was not what I wanted to do. It was soul-crushing work, and I was more interested in being a civil servant. So an opportunity came up to join the budget department at the city of Miami as a budget coordinator, and I thought that that was a better fit for me at the time. And I was lucky enough to be able to start with the city back in March of 2002.
Quite the little number cruncher. I had no idea.
Yes.
You have a degree in accounting.
I do. I have a master's degree in accounting from Florida International University.
Woohoo.
Go Panthers.
Absolutely. From budget, you went on into other departments.
Yes, I was in budget for 9.5 years and helped the city navigate the treacherous waters of the financial crisis of 2008. And after that, decided that I needed to find a place once again that was more in line with where my personal life and the city needs were. So on to my next challenge, to be more of an active motherly role at home, but by the same token to kind of take the expertise and the financial information that I had gathered being here at the city and to use it in operations over at GSA. So that's where the beginning of my transition over to GSA started.
So you say, Mom, I know you're a mom. Your daughter is interning with us this summer.
She is.
And we are proud to have her. Hope she's learning a lot.
I'm sure. With you, there's no chance she's not.
We're a great bunch here. She's right at home. Talk to me about what people don't know what General Services does, right?
Right. It's kind of like the miscellaneous, right?
Yeah, and you probably have one of the biggest departments. You lead one of the biggest departments in the city.
It's $37 million a year in operations and 140 employees, dedicated, hardworking employees. Part of the work that we do, it's kind of diversified, right? So General Services is kind of the name you give to the miscellaneous. So we offer services as far as the mechanical garage. So that offers mechanical services for all of the city fleet.
Our unsung heroes. Every time our cars break.
Yeah, we do everything except for fire. Fire does do their own heavy fleet, but their administrative fleet we also do. And then we also have our graphics department. So all of your digital needs, graphic reproductions, all of your magazine articles and things like that you need, our graphic team puts that together. It's a full-blown print shop in operation. We also have a property management division. And that one's kind of twofold. So not only do we do the repair and maintenance for all facilities citywide, there are also a couple of facilities themselves that are under our purview. So City Hall proper, the administration building, this podcast room. We're the people behind the scenes, right, that keep it looking pretty, keep the lights working, and keep everything looking as it should, like the gem that it is, right? And then lastly, we are responsible for the operation and maintenance of the City of Miami 911 system.
That's something I wanted you to talk to me about. I didn't know that until my team, who was able to put together and gave me a little bit of background. I've spoken to you so many times and obviously through the years, but I didn't know that you played a big role in the implementation of it.
The 911 system has been around for a while, but after my transition over into GSA, it was starting to end its useful life. And we were having service interruptions and things that happen once systems have reached their end of useful life. So we were intricately involved with the purchasing department in doing the RFP process, bidding it out, speccing it out, getting it ready, and then the arduous task of getting it implemented during COVID. So that also prevented some challenges, but I'm happy to report that it has been fully up and operational for over a year.
That is awesome, without a glitch.
So far.
That's important. That's very important, and that's something that people don't understand, how important it is, that 911, not to have any glitches for both police and fire. I speak to the police chief and the fire chief all the time about that, and it is awesome. You see that our public safety responds right away, and that's the That
Yeah.
plays a big role, the 911 system.
Absolutely. And given the current events with the attempted assassination of Donald Trump this weekend, one of the things that our system has is that it is P25 compliant. And what that means is that in the event of a high stakes or a high visible situation, or in case of emergency, our system is ready to be interoperable with any agency that comes in.
Yeah, that's the patchwork, right? That you're
Yeah.
able to patch in any.
Automatically. So
That's a
any
great thing.
radio from any system, from any agency, or from any other like police or fire joint task force that comes in to
The
assist.
multi-agency, yeah.
Multi-agency response.
That
Yes,
is
that's
actually
the word.
that is actually a very, very big point, because just recently we had a big fire in our city, right? And we have a great fire team, but
Absolutely.
the county, should they have had to, they immediately could patch in. Vice
Yes.
versa, just with police immediately, and we have that the ability to be able to patch in with other cities. As a matter of fact, there are other agencies that come to work in our city sometimes during
Yes.
special events, and they can immediately patch in, and that
Yes.
that says a lot. The radio, I think we're in a good place.
Absolutely. I can
It
tell you
is.
that as far as the 911 communication system is concerned, we have state of the art right now in place. And like I said, its interoperability is bar none like any other.
What do you find to be one of the most challenging things for you as a director of GSA? One of the most tedious projects. I know they throw a lot of them at you, but one in particular.
I think the hardest part is because we're so diversified in what we do, it's being able to pivot as quickly as we do. So one of the things that we get all the time is like I can get a request for remodeling that needs to be done for an area that is starting to show its age. And we will take that project soup to nuts, right? So we engage with our construction team. We go ahead and get plans and permits. We actually pull plans and permits. Our property maintenance team become contractors and they get the work done. So turnarounds are shorter, costs are lower, and we get to do that kind of work. But by the same token, I might have to pivot because funding was just provided to help police fleet, for example. And I might get like $10 million for, like I did last year, for new vehicles. And I just got to pivot. And now we got to go and buy cars and start working with the sheriff's
That's-
contract and get those in. So it's kind of the diversity and the quickness of the pivoting that happens. I think that's the hardest challenge. It's a logistical challenge every day because we are so diversified in our services.
That's an easy way to put it, right? It takes a lot, and sometimes people see us. It's funny. I remember one time someone said, "How can your police car break down?" Well, yeah.
Well, if they're over 7 years old.
How is it? How is it that your car is getting towed? Well, yeah, the car, the battery died or for whatever,
Right.
and your people are the ones that have a great way of immediately taking care of that problem and making us whole again, because there's nothing more terrible than to have, an officer without a vehicle, but you guys have a great turnaround, and that says a lot.
Well, that's our function, right? We're never the people in front of the cameras. We're never the people in the front line, but we're the ones that make sure that everyone that has to respond and everyone that has to provide that service, that one-on-one service to our constituency, is ready to do so. And whether that means that that's done with vehicles, or whether that's done by supporting our public works operation and making sure that they have all the pumps available.
You play a big role in that, especially
Yes.
when we have the floodings.
Yes.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's a lot that people don't know, that when the public works department goes out, so do your guys.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about, because we have a lot of visuals with the pumps and how they're working, what role do your people play in that as well?
They make sure that they're up and running, beginning to end. So whether that means that the pumps get jammed because unfortunately sometimes they have to deal with brackish water and that salt water intrusion rusts them internally. So we'll make sure that we get them back up and running and get them primed, whether it means that we have to change parts out because they're broken. Even the part where we go ahead and we procure them for public works. So public works will tell us what their needs are, but we're the ones that actually spec these things out and buy them, secure them, and tag them and go ahead and put them into operation. So it's really soup to nuts. We do everything from beginning to end so that public works can be as successful as possible in the events and the moments when they're most needed.
Yeah, you guys are always ready to go.
Yes.
Because South Florida is so unpredictable with weather, right?
Yes. Yes.
What would you tell someone that wants to go into public service?
I would tell them that you have to do it because you really want to make a difference and you just want to help. Don't do it because you expect a pat on the back. Don't do it because you expect notoriety. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. And if it's what your soul craves that it needs, as it was in my case, accounting was kind of soulless work when I was doing it at the firm. Here I know I'm helping someone's abuelita, or I'm helping a family in some way, because if I can leverage the service, if I can do it cheaper, if I can do it faster, if I can help my brother departments perform better, then I did my job.
That's important. You're the first woman director for General Services Administration, correct?
Yes.
And you've been there since 2021.
Yes. I was promoted in 2021 to be the first female director in the city's history to run the General Services Administration Department. Being a blue-collar, extensive department, it's kind of been a traditional role for men to run this department. But I think as we evolve, women through time have been getting their feet wet, if you will, in things that maybe aren't so traditional. And I'm not a traditional girl. So I'm one that likes a challenge, right? If you tell me I can't, that's all the reason why we're going to. Yeah. So the department was always a place that I loved being in. And out of 140 employees, we have 8 women, and I being one of them. And we make the magic happen. I mean, we're just in there with the thicket with the rest of the guys, and it's really a wonderful team, because that distinction doesn't really matter. The focus is always on getting the work done, getting it done right, and how we can be most effective. And
that's awesome, because a lot of people probably don't know. So you have police vehicles, the solid waste trucks.
Yes.
You have the heavy equipment mechanics, the regular fleet for the police cars, and I think you service police motorcycles too, right?
Yes, we do the police motorcycles. We handle all of the small equipment that you see throughout the city. We run the gas station for the city of Miami. So all fuel needs, including those for our trolleys that move our constituency as effectively as they do, it's all through my operation.
That's awesome. See, those are the things that people probably don't know. And I know our viewers and our listeners are probably wondering, what is General Services? They're the ones that keep us on our feet. They keep, our well-oiled machine going. It is, because I know with us, my team will tell you, when something goes wrong, we got to call Jennifer. I think I have you almost like on speed dial. But thank you for everything you do, because we never get the opportunity to really thank you. And thank you for what you do, not for just the city employees, but for the residents too. It is very important that people like you are recognized. Thank you for being a woman and in your leadership position.
Thank you.
Can you share a personal anecdote about a time when you faced a significant change and how you were able to overcome it?
So I think the most significant event, right as we were entering 2008, with the financial crisis, there was financial leadership change that happened abruptly in the budget department. And that left me with another co-assistant director to start working with a brand new city manager, Carlos Migoya at the time. He was hired to kind of turn things around in that difficult situation that the city was in financially. And with that abrupt change in leadership in budget, it wasn't time to pout or to cry about the hard times that were coming. It was a time to put your big girl pants on and get the work done. And we did, through, extensive investigations and everything else that was going on. The city's name was cleared, that it was doing the right thing, and helping our constituency and our investors. And we were able to think creatively financially, but still manage within all of the rules and regulations that exist to govern these kinds of dollars. And we were able to do so by garnishing a team aspect in the department, getting all of our staff on board. There were long days, long nights, but it was okay. Everyone understood the mission. Everybody knew that we were here to help the city get through this and to help our constituency get through it, because we're no different than what the constituency was going through. The fact that we hit financial crisis just meant that they had been going through it already for 2 years before us.
Right.
So it was now our turn to make sure that we could put us in a situation where we were strong and secure because it was the best way to alleviate the constituency and what they were going through. So that pivot, that transition, I think was the most challenging.
And you
me.
look back at it today and you're like, it makes me who I am today, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And you just
probably.
got through it because you just worried about today.
And
You did what you had to do.
I'm sure there are other obstacles that we have. I mean, as been here with the city as long as you have, and we've seen things, right? And we just roll with the punches, and it makes us stronger, right? At what we do. I know there's a lot of things that you still have in store for your department. I would love for you to come back, maybe later in the year, at the beginning of next year, so that we can talk about other things that you're doing.
Love to be back.
Awesome. Thank you for being with us today. It means a lot.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about the men and women that help run my department and that make the magic happen.
Awesome. But I want to invite someone to meet with us. Come on, Amber. This is our intern.
My daughter.
Who is her mini me, right?
Yeah, I mean, as people say.
So she's interning and she's wanting to go into communications. Go figure, right? We're happy to have you. So that goes to show that we are an extended family. I'm sure you grew up around a lot of city folks, right?
And they all knew me since the beginning. They're basically family at that point.
Awesome. We're lucky to have her. So definitely we'll see each other again.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank
Consider
you.
it done. Thank you all.
And that is a wrap for our Empowered 305. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.